Hello everyone, so I'm sure you've all seen the videos from yesterday about a Ukrainian incursion into Kursk, Russia. Now, this doesn't appear to be Freedom for Russia Legion forces this time, but rather Ukrainian regular troops, or at least a combination of the two, and it's occurring in the Sudzha area of Kursk shown here. Let's check some of the videos and photos from the area, and look at the geolocations that I have for you, and then we'll also look at the wider map overall of where this is actually taking place. So first, let's have a look at some of the confirmed losses, starting with the biggie. This photo here shows a burning Ka-52 helicopter. It's been quite a while since a Ka-52 has been destroyed, because of Russia's new tactics of operating them out of manpad range. I think possibly Russia panicked here because of the incursion, and sent the Ka-52s into areas that they were vulnerable, or Ukraine actually advanced further than Russia thought, so the Ka-52 strayed into manpad range that way. There is one photographed, however, a report says that two were actually downed. These are Russia's most modern attack helicopter. Some sources say the second helicopter downed was a Mi-28, but we're going to have to wait for confirmation. There's no geolocation for this one. Now, Oryx, you can see, has 59 Ka-52 helicopters listed so far, but one in Kursk hasn't been added yet, so we have 60 confirmed losses of this helicopter type. The true number will likely be higher, because we've had reported downings of these, but where the only video footage is of a big plume of smoke, so the helicopter type couldn't actually be fully identified. 137 were in service at the start of the war, so a massive chunk of the Ka-52 fleet is gone. Maybe this is why we haven't seen any for a while, there just aren't as many left. There's also very likely a Mi-28 helicopter damaged or destroyed. This still photo shows an FPV drone about to hit one, and I can't wait till we get the video of this because I think it's going to be very interesting to see. I can't see how the Mi-28 here can avoid the impact. Ukraine shared the image and says there is a video, which will be released soon. I expect not yet because the footage may give away Ukrainian positions or similar. This would be the first confirmed helicopter downed by a drone, although a Mi-28 was reported a week or so ago, hit by a drone whilst taking off, but we didn't get a video confirming it, only a photo of the wreckage. It is possible that this Mi-28 here is the second helicopter reported downed with just a misidentification, as remember, some sources report it as being a second Ka-52, and then changing it to it being a Mi-28, and now we have a photo of a Mi-28. It seems two helicopters, possibly three, may have been downed here so far. Here's our next photo. This shows a pair of Russian T-62 tanks on KAMAZ transporter trucks after being hit. Looks like this was an attempt to quickly reinforce the border with them, but they were destroyed along with the trucks. You can see they were hit near what looks to be a small checkpoint or roadblock. The geolocation is on screen now, so these were on trucks heading west when they were hit. Zoomed out, you can see that this is in Sudzha itself, not too far from the border. Now, to me it seems like a massive risk to take tanks like this loaded on the trucks so close to the front line. Better to drop them off a few kilometres further back and let them drive there, I think. So I think it likely that this, combined with the Ka-52 straying into manpad range, means Ukraine caught Russia with its kegs down, and Russia just didn't realise that Ukraine had breached the border so far into Kursk. Or they just panicked and sent the vehicles into silly areas like this without thinking about the consequences. 175 T-62s are up on Oryx. These are the old retired tanks that Russia removed from storage in late 2022. We removed around 600 from storage, maybe more have been removed and made ready for action since then. Here's another video showing a vehicle loss of Russia's. This shows an FPV drone hovering over Sudzha in Kursk, before then diving in to attack one of a pair of supply trucks parked up in the town. Not the most action-packed video, but definitely worth a very quick look. These trucks were parked up here. There was what looks to be netting over them, so this area definitely looks like it was used by the military. I wonder if those warehouses nearby you can see used as a storage or as a garrison for the troops in the area. This you can see is in Sudzha itself. Now the next video I'm going to play without me talking.
Тут пизда нахуй, самолеты над головой, прикинь, летают нахуй, истребители. Это, блядь, догорает, вон тачка нахуй, даже хуй пожарка едет, понял? тут пизда полная, глянь, ёб твою мать. Ебать нахуй, я в ахуе.
So that showed a pair of Russian Su-25 aircraft returning to base after carrying out a mission in the area. So Russia has deployed fast jets in the region to defend against this incursion. The geolocation for this is here. So the Su-25s, the pair of them, heading southeast across the road as shown. Zoomed out, this is the road leading into Sudzha, just behind the town. No idea where they will launch their weapons from to be sure, but I expect it was likely in the area north of the border, where we've seen Ukraine having crossed the border, given the direction they're flying from. Which brings me to the next video, which shows that crossing. So this shows where a main part of the Ukrainian push here is. This shows a Ukrainian Cossack MRAP, with a few other MRAPs scattered around, being hit by a drone. These are all abandoned. The reason I wanted to take a look at this is because we can use its geolocation to see where Ukraine is. So it was geolocated to be along this road here. Zoomed out, this is about 7 kilometers into Russia. These cluster of vehicles here, which are all MRAPs, were later hit by an Iskander to finish them off, which seems like a bit of a waste of an Iskander to be honest, to hit a number of already abandoned MRAPs. Now our final video. So Ukraine has reported capturing 35 soldiers at the time of recording. This clip shows a number of them being escorted by Ukrainian troops. Here's the geolocation. So these actually aren't being led into Ukraine, but south along the border. So I guess there were Ukrainian vehicles there in the trees to load these up into, which is why they weren't being led just straight across the Ukrainian border. This is here, south of Sudzha, so a different area to where we saw the Ukrainian vehicles. So there are at least 2 crossing points. So here's the geolocation footage we have of Ukrainian presence. So one thrust going north towards that small lake or pond, another south of Sudzha, where we saw the Russian prisoners. Now, despite some reports, I haven't seen geolocated videos of Ukrainian troops or vehicles advancing to Sudzha itself. It seems to be areas north and south. However, I'm going to switch maps. This is from a Russian source, so you may likely get better facts from the content smeared on a toilet door in feces, but there may be some truth sprinkled among the twaddle. So, this shows Ukrainian pushes in the geolocated areas north and east which we just looked at, where the captured troops were and where the Ukrainian vehicles were. But it also shows a Ukrainian advance along the road up to Sudzha. I haven't seen any geolocated footage of Ukraine along that road yet, and one video which was shared online claiming to show it has actually been geolocated to be from Sumy, over the border. Reports say this area was guarded by a Chechen TikTok brigade, who, to the surprise of no one, abandoned their positions and fled further east. This info comes from Russian sources. So this is pretty interesting. So why would Ukraine do this? Well, nobody knows for sure. There's many suggestions online, some a bit far-fetched, such as Ukraine wanted to gain control of a nuclear power plant which is about 50 kilometers from here. Others, that this is an attempt to hold territory here, and then force Russia to negotiate a withdrawal from Kharkiv with Ukraine withdrawing from Kursk. Others, there's basically to force Russia to divert forces here to defend it from this incursion, diverting them from the Kharkiv front. I find the latter most likely, combined with it being a raid to basically cause chaos and destroy or capture whatever they can before going back across the border. A hit and run raid. I don't think Ukraine will hold territory here, and I've seen nothing to indicate there are enough forces here to do so. It seems to be a mixture of MRAPs, and I've also seen reports of some strikers being used here. Relatively light vehicles, no tanks and things like that. But the raid has had some success. 2 helicopters downed, possibly 3. Tanks and vehicles destroyed, and so far 35 troops captured. I expect that number will rise. Another possibility is that this is a preemptive strike. There's been talk for a while about Russia planning, or building up for, a cross-border incursion into Sumy district, much like the one near Kharkiv, to create a sort of buffer zone between the border. Now, could this raid have basically just had the intention of disrupting that, smash over the border, take out as many Russians and vehicles as the region as possible, and then pull back to disrupt the potential for a Russian incursion? Maybe even lay mines and that sort of thing on the routes heading towards Sumy. We are going to have to wait and see what happens to be certain, but definitely this is an area to keep an eye on. So that's it for this video. I hope you found it interesting. Now I'm going to play a video from Cars for Ukraine about the ongoing fundraiser with them. Big thanks to everybody who's helped out so far. The donation link is in the description. Thanks so much for watching and take care everybody.
Hello guys, we are medics of 3rd Separate Brigade operate in a very hot spot in Kharkiv region, where Russians form a new front. We have the right skills, equipment and even a dog to cheer everyone up. But what we lack is wheels to operate fully effectively. We've joined efforts with Car for Ukraine to raise money for 5 pickup trucks that will be purchased and delivered to us for further medical setup. Car for Ukraine has been actively helping warriors all over the front line, delivering a total of 430 vehicles. Help us keep our Ukrainians alive. Donate at carforukraine.com. Together to our shared victory.